mic hooked up? Hello, beautiful Aurora. I am so grateful you can join. Please let me know if you can hear me okay. I always forget about this thing. And it's been working very well. So, okay. Good deal. There we go. I believe I'm ready. Okay, good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Perfect. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to co-create. Ooh, look at that hair. All right. So yes, welcome, welcome. Just going to give a few moments per usual to let everyone tune in and dial in that is aligned to be here and join. I would definitely recommend, you'll probably hear me repeat this a few times. I would definitely have some water available for this. This is going to be, pretty powerful, as as all of them are in their own right. So for this one, though, I can definitely tell you that having water to drink is going to really, really help. I would actually probably go ahead and drinking some water. The water helps to support the molecular. The water helps to transmit the frequencies and the vibrations. So I would just go ahead and be drinking some water and letting your body begin to get hydrated. As we just give a few moments for others to join. And if you're not coming here, if you're coming here from a different place other than my Instagram or my Facebook, maybe you didn't catch the description. This is an activation for the Merkaba. It is an activation of light, and this Merkaba activation is very, very powerful. Of course, what we are doing right now, or at least those that are choosing the path, have an opportunity to inherit their Merkaba, where it's not just something that we have to call upon or activate, but it is something that exists consistently as a part of us. It's what we take with us. And what I received in connection with the Merkaba is that it was the inheritance of our soul star and our earth star. And it was very interesting because it had never come through in that way before. But it makes sense. Our soul star coming down like this, our earth star coming up like that. And so the two pyramids meet. And when they meet and they connect, they create a geometric design. And of course, they are already geometric designs in and of themselves. However, when we inherit those two and they come together, we inherit the planet. We inherit our soul. And that's the intention. So, this came through, I stated, or actually, I don't know if I stated this. I probably stated it in my group space. But a few nights ago, I was receiving some upgrades. I was convening with the councils, and I've really started coming back into connection with the councils again. And I will speak into why in just a moment. But as I was convening, I received that it was time for some upgrades. So, oh, welcome. I'm so glad you could join, Anne. Welcome, beautiful. Welcome. It never shows me the right numbers on who's joining and who's watching. So if there's anyone else here that's come over from Instagram or Facebook, just please let me know in the chat. I would love to see. So, okay, beautiful. This transmission, I'm just giving it a few moments for everyone to join. This one today is not going to be as long as it normally is. This is extremely powerful. I brought through one yesterday from my group space, which was a little bit more in depth. It was based around, where we are in our mastery, but whew, there was a few times where I almost passed out. It was really, really intense. So, what I was just speaking into is, please be sure you have some water. Please be sure that you are hydrating, because the water will assist in carrying the activated currents. So just going to give it another minute or so, and I'm just going to be speaking into a few things. So when I received these, when this came through for me, of course, I go through it before I bring anything through, and I received this massive upgrade to my system. Immense upgrade. I will be sharing in the plasmic currents, the rainbow currents, those that I have received. My entire body felt like I had been through a wrestling match. Yesterday, even though I brought that through from my group space, I was pretty much down for the rest of the day. But that was because I was bringing through a lot on top of receiving the upgrades for myself. So this is not only a Merkaba activation, but it will be upgrading you on a DNA level. So just please have that in your awareness. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. There will be new incoming codes. And the one thing that is, I know you guys have heard me speak about guides and how, the way that guides were showing up for me, and how, guides don't tell us anything, and the cosmic energies, there's nothing out there that tells us anything. The clarity that came in regards to that, and why I was speaking into it in the way that I was, of course, everything comes through me in a way that is necessary for being a conduit of universal intelligence and universal consciousness. I speak whatever is here, leaving it open for others to interpret in the way that they choose. And whether they choose to interpret that as being good or bad, obviously, if you lean into it as an opposition or opposing forces, like choosing to view anything that is spoken into here as leaning into opposition, then you're leaning away from the neutrality that it is presented in. It is an opportunity for us to witness receiving from a space of neutrality. And the reason why it came through in the way that it came through was that it was necessary in undergoing these last few waves of mastery, especially over the last month or so. What I expressed and what everyone in my group space reflected back is the same thing. We realized why we had not been connecting into the cosmic energies and the guides and the things in the same way, is because there would have been a filter of ego. And because everything that I apply is applied from a state of master perception, master choice, just a path of consistent applied mastery of awareness, it was very important for us to go through and experience this level of embodiment of our channel, because these upgrades in this way, they don't come through all the time. They come through when we're ready. And this means that there's something that we must be working on. We must have released something. For us, there was a lot of recognition of these cycles of time where we had been remaining stuck. And not only understanding that cycles were releasing, but having an understanding as to what cycles were being released. So I say this because that makes room. It makes room for the energy that is incoming. So you may feel some things coming to the surface. You may feel emotions. If there is an aspect of you that always steps forward before your highest, then that's definitely going to show. You're going to have that version of you show up, and that version of you is going to present itself so that you can accept it. Okay? This could be a version that needs to prove itself. This could be a version that is consistently judging, shaming, guilting, and therefore the emotions will show in connection with that. So please allow. We will be receiving from the high councils for those. There's 4 aspects of me that I work with as those aspects astral. And one of these is also a council member on a council of 9. And these higher councils, these higher emissaries are appearing to hold the frequency, okay? To hold the frequency, because these are very, very big frequencies. And so please keep in heart that when I call these energies in, it is to simply hold the frequency, okay? Because so much is coming in this way, they're not going to be handing over a job to do or saying that we need to do anything. And if anything image-wise appears for you, please realize that there is something underneath the image for you to understand about yourself. Meaning, if you are one that sees a lot, if you're clairvoyant, if you see a lot of images, please give yourself an opportunity to go into those images and see how those images are connected to what was taking place on an embodied level. Okay? In order for these frequencies to be consistently upheld, there is an application of awareness that is always necessary. Okay, we're going to begin dialing in. I'm already beginning to move into, so just please take a few deep breaths. Preparing. Welcome, Charlotte. Welcome, Ninth Ward. Now just please continue taking long, deep breaths. You're really going to feel this, okay? We call in our astral guides, those that hold a contract with you to assist in upholding the frequency. Another revelation that came through, and I would like to reflect this. As we continue to ascend in our awareness and ascend in consciousness, we will no longer need guides. The intention and purpose of guides was to hold the frequency and to hold the currents of the grid. So I would like to also bring it to everyone's awareness that because the grids of an ascending planet are different than the grids previous, there are certain certain applications that no longer hold the frequency because they can't. So certain natural laws, our laws of karma, are shifting because we have an opportunity to not only clear and close out our karmic libraries or our Akash. Everyone has access to universal, to the planetary wisdom of the Akash. Everyone can unlock the secrets of the universe, if you will, the natural laws. There is no one that holds those keys, by the way. If anyone is tries to present to you that in order for you to understand the Egyptian, Sumerian, Hermetic, or any other teachings, please understand that you have access to those. All libraries of the planet, all wisdom of the ages is now open because it's closing. Those frequencies are closing. And if we remain connected, if we choose to remain in those frequencies, then this means we hold those cycles of time captive. Hello, Christopher. And if we hold those cycles of time captive, we're not transitioning out of cycled time. We're not transitioning out of. And so it doesn't mean that you don't allow yourself to understand those things. Use them as a stepping stone if necessary. However, you also have an opportunity in such awarenesses right now to feel and experience that application of frequencies and the application of electromagnetic currents that are the transition point. We have new frequencies that are available on this planet, but they're harnessed through us, which means the guides and the guardians are handing over, they're passing the torch. But this can only happen if you match the frequency of the grids. Not just because you're here as a cosmic volunteer, not just because you're a starseed. It does not give you automatic access, nor does holding the wisdom of the previous world give you access, because that's a certain frequency. The guardians and the handing over of the torch is available for those that are consistently moving into the higher awareness, which means guardians go online and someone might shift in and take their place, shift in and take their place. It's a consistent shift. So different guardians are coming online all the time to uphold the currents. Those that are consistently upholding these electromagnetic currents from a unified state where they realize that our new earth is unknown, which means there are no laws applicable from previous planetary laws that apply. It's a new earth. It is a new earth, which means we can't take that which was and apply it to that which is. So therefore, it's the unseen and it's the unknown. So this was requesting to come through as we step into this. Oh, hello, little bird. Rukushia takadisia tokoriasia takariasia tokoriasia takadisia takaruka. Rika. Just please take a deep breath. She must have a nest up there with eggs. Kurukushkia, 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 kurukushkia. So we call in our etheric guides to hold the frequency of the grids to assist in allowing an opening of your channel, allowing an opening of your grid space. Rukuskitikia, siktikia, 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 rukushia, takaria, siktakaria, 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 siktakarik, ari, siktiki, asiktiki, 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 ruk, asiktiki, 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 ruk, asiktiki, 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 ruk, shuku, ashatatataya. And just asking these etheric guides to just stay present in holding the currents. And this is a necessity, for there is a lot energetically. Please take a deep breath. If you feel lightheaded, if your heart begins to beat a lot faster, just please take some deep breaths. Breathe through it. If you feel pressure, breathe through it. We will be opening a lot, okay? Calling up the white diamond crystalline Saryatakaria from the earth stars. Saryataria, Sataria, 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 Ru, Shataria, Sataria, 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 Satoko, Ishiti, Asiti, 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 Ru, Ashataya, Ushutor, 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 Urukushkatai, Rukushkotakaya, Sakitiki, Sukutokoria, Siktiki, Sukutokoria, Siktiki, Sukutokoria, Siktiki, Ruk, 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 Shuktuk, Tuk, Tuk, Shuktuk, Tuk, Tuk, Shuktuk, Tuk, Tuk, Shuktuk, Tuk, Tuk, Ruk. Hello and welcome. As we begin to call up our Merkaba and pulling up from the liquid diamond platinum crystalline. Ruk sh 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 ruk sh 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 ruk 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 shkutukoya sik tak 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 kurukoya sik tak ru shkua 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 ruk shkua 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 ruk shuk 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 ruk shuk 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 ruk shuk 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 tuk 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 ruk 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 tuk 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 shuk 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 ruk shuk shuk shuk. The Merkaba will be acting like a shield and also as an activator. Ruk 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 suk tuk suk tuk suk tuk suk tuk suk tuk ruk 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 shuk 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 shuk. And calling down liquid golden platinum crystalline toria 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 soya ta 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 rukoya toya 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 ruk toya 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 ruk suk tuk suk tuk suk tuk suk tuk ruk shku 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 ruk suk tuk 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 ruk tuk 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 ruk tuk 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 ruk tuk 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 ruk tuk tuk. Bringing it down, 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 bringing it down. Tuk 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 ruk tuk 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 tuk. And just allow yourself to feel the marriage, to feel the connection point. Please take a deep breath. Just allowing yourself to feel, becoming familiar with the first layer of your Merkaba. We will layer upon this a few times, but I would like for you to also take this opportunity to place an intention when you stepped into this today. What was your intention? What are you intending to receive? And also using your intention and your applied awareness to co-create within these energies and within these frequencies, remembering that this is not just happening to you, right? It's happening through you. And therefore, if you become the co-creator, if you allow yourself to tone and tune and express, then you're not dependent upon me to express for you on behalf of you. You become the co-creator along with me. We are standing in co-creation together. Even if this is your first time expressing, just open your mouth and make sounds. Ooh, ooh. Making sounds. So opening a lot. Irashiataya sonohia, Riasakia, Rusiataina, Mariuria, Siatakia, Turiasi, Makaria, Kia, Kaya, Nia, Sukuya. A lot is opening in the throat. Rukutakia, Sikia, Takia, Takia, Sikia, Takia, Sikia, Takia, Sikia, Takia, Sikia, Takia, Sikia, Takia, Ruk, Sik, Tick, 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 Rik, Sik, Tick, 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 Ruk, Tuk, 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 Rukoya, Siataya, Sataya, Sataya. What is here for the collective within this applied Merkaba? Shiata Karima, Koya, Siata Kayasa, Korea, Siata Karina, Maria, Kurkoshia, Rukushkoya, Tia, Siata, Tia, Kaya Saktakea, Sikia, Takaya, Siata Kaya, Siata Kaya, Siata Kaya, Kurkoa. Inashakaya, 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 suku, suku, suku. Ruk suk tuk 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 tuk. We will now begin the first layer of upgrades to the system. Ruk suk tuk 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 tuk. Wa tak 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 tak. Ruk uk ark uk ark uk ark uk. Shoo 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 shoo. Kurkush 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 kurk. Wa tak 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 tak. Tuk 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 tuk. Roya. Tak 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 tak. Roya. Tak 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 tak. Roya. Opening up the channel. Calling in the higher councils and yandai shiogua tati reisikia kadikia tukuria tik 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 shikur 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 shikur. We have Syrian, Orion, higher councils, and Arcturian. I'm going to express the following upgrades. From the space of Sonok. This is the aspect of me on this council. And actually, I hold a connection to all three councils. Representing the magenta, indigo, violet. These rays of mastery. So calling in. Calling in, calling in, calling in, calling in. So calling in the rays. Taria 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 tukua 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 tukua. Now they have multiple rays incoming. So you may feel, see, and experience different rays. We are anchoring these into the nucleus of the cells, so calling and declaring. All cells are open, all pores of the skin are open to receiving, all aspects of the physical are open to receiving. Bringing your awareness into the temple, the house, the nucleus. And as you bring your awareness into the nucleus, the powerhouse. Just allow yourself to take a moment and experience, become familiar with your awareness. Remember, you don't have to know. You do know. Just taking a moment. We're in a very powerful experience of energy right now. Just taking this opportunity, you will be anchoring. Remember, applying your awareness to pull in and to guide those rays into the nucleus, into the DNA, to apply the activated upgrades through the rays, and also with your intention and awareness, allowing yourself to have the understanding of what is incoming in these upgrades for you, what is here for you. I will begin channeling in the rays. And as I begin channeling them, we are going to begin anchoring them simultaneously. Declaring I am a vessel for expression for all rays incoming and present for all souls receiving. Let us bring up the Koyasia, Takaya, Koyasia, Taraina, Maria Sakayusia, the Koyasia, the Koyasi, Koyasikia, Korea, Sukuya, 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 Rukushia, Tatia, 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 Rukushia, Tatatakia. We bring the DNA into the awareness. And now bringing in the rays. Channeling. Anchoring layering, anchoring, layer, anchor, layer, anchor, layer, anchor, layer, anchor, oro, 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 korukushku, orukush, 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 chuck, 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 sh, 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 tuk, 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 tuk. Shoo, 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 ru, shoo, ru, shoo, ru, shoo, 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 shoo. Tuku. Inakariku, tak, 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 urkayaku. Paria sukuria, siktukuria, suktukuria, 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 kuria, si na shia kaya kuwa, 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 kai. Ruko shahtiki, ark, urk, 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 ushk. Tukur, 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 ushk, tuk, 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 tukur, tuk, 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 tukur, ruk, tuk, 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 ruk, tut, ruk, tut, ruk, tut, ruk, tut, ruk, tut, ruk, tut, ruk. Allowing those to come in and anchor. Ruk, tuk, 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 ruk, tuk, 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 ruk, tuk, tuk, tuk. Wrapping. Tukuriga, 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 tukuriga. Ru, tuk, 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 tuk. Wrapping the DNA. Rukuya, tik, 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 in white diamond flame. Ruk, tuk, 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 whoop, tuk, 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 tuk. And golden platinum. Ruk, tuk, 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 whoop. Just really feeling the open expansiveness that's happening in the higher heart, shoulders, from the basically from the solar plexus up to the shoulders and around and expanding and around and expanding and around and expanding and around. And we will now begin to bring up the next layer of the Merkaba. Bringing it up, 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 around, 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 bringing it up and 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 around. And bringing down, bringing down, bringing down the golden platinum of the soul star. Suku, 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 suku. Su, tu, 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 su. Su, tu, tu, tu. bringing it down, 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 and around and around and around and around and around, bringing it down and around, down and around, down and around, layering, 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 layering the Merkaba, just being present in this activated layer of your Merkaba. Allowing yourself to feel the electromagnetic currents, the marriage of the soul and the planet. And also remember that the way that this truly applies, and like this truly applies obviously, but the way that we receive this continuously, the way that we inherit the Earth Star, the way that we inherit the Soul Star is by consistently releasing ourselves from the cycles. What is here to be witnessed for the collective. Let us call forth contracts that you are holding within yourself in connection with your familial group, your karmic lesson group, relationships that you have with others, and the health of your body. This is the same trinity or triad that came up for my group. I'm just going to allow everyone to take a moment to visit with these contracts. The next wave of incoming activated codes or upgrades, the sequence that is incoming for the DNA. Prior to receiving, it is necessary for everyone to review what is no longer aligned and to accept this version of you. This version of you that steps up before your highest. Is there a version of you that steps up before your highest and judges? Is there a version of you that steps up before your highest and shames? Is there a version of you that steps up before your highest and tries to prove itself? Or maybe there's a version of you that is always there, that you're always choosing, that doesn't express or just simply doesn't transcend the threshold, which is actually applicable to all of those. If you are not changing, if you are not choosing differently, if you are not aware of the unseen, the unseen is the aspect of you that is always behind the versions of you that step forward and choose to control the situation. Just allowing this to be in the awareness. Allowing you to accept, receive this version of you, bring it home, bring it into the heart, wrap it in unconditional love, wrap it in unconditional gratitude. Thank that version of you for showing up and showing you where you are choosing. Do not judge the version of you that is choosing judgment. Tikeri urik shiakai nasikeru ate urik asitak aria rusa tatatakia sokoyana clearing, 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 opening, 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 and clearing, 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 clearing. Rusikia satatatatataya 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 ru 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 ruktak ayat tukuk ark atik isik urk asik erik asik erik asik erik asik erik uk atak ark atak ark atak ark atak ark at urk at clearing, clearing, clearing ruk tuk urk tuk urk tuk urk tuk urk tuk urk uruk tuk 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 kuat 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 kariesi ke kuat tai rukush urkushku arkushku 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 arkurk asku shuk 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 and we open up the DNA. In preparation for the codes. Incoming sequencing. Ruku, 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 ya 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 ruku asikiki adan mari urka sikiri ruku suktukuria 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 suktukurku kuwa suktuku 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 suktuku. And as this is incoming, allow yourself to be aware of the pyramids, if you will, how they are rotating in opposite directions. The soul star is rotating in one direction, the earth star is rotating in another direction. As they have married at your heart and expanded outwards to create the Merkaba, you can feel the funnel and the power of the portal that is created. Now beginning the sequencing of activated DNA. Rukushia Narayari Atatenu Mariari Ariasi Mariasi 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 Ruatiki Kuriakua Tak Aishiki Akua. Receiving, 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 receiving. Activating the central nervous system. Opening up the central nervous system. Opening. Suku. Yatakeo sanamariaru. Isia taishi tukua. Sikiti taishi namariurek. Isia. Ruku. Calling in, calling in the rays to filter into Doria, Ru. We match this to the sequence 4343. Rukushiatake, Siktukuruku. Rusha. Taking a moment just to feel. As everything is opened and expanded. Really feeling the wavelengths. Allowing everything to open. Naishurya. Just allowing your body to move with the waves. Allowing your body to move with the waves. And you can just really feel how you are the nerves. You are the wave. Just taking a deep breath. And just really feeling as you are flowing as. Where the waves are moving through you and you are the wave. Opening, activating, clearing. And now we'll apply the system upgrade. This will be another layer and is activating the immune system. Also opening up within the 13th strand, the activated shielding of the immune system. Consulting with the councils. Ishinanamasike u ashi a usa inamari uri isi a sa e ush isiki a mari uri isi a mari uri isi a mari uri isi a suku inashi a. Beginning the download. Downloading this. Grushia satatakurik a shak arik urik a shikidak arik urik a shikidak arik urik a ruk utu ut urik ut urik ut urik ut tak 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 ru shak tak 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 expanding out into the immune system. And just feeling as everything opens. Suku, 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 ru, suktuku, 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 ru, shuku, shuku, shuku. Rakatake suku. Calling down liquid rainbow light. And calling up the liquid plasmic currents of diamond white platinum. Rukushia tadadadami shimarara shin marara shin marara shin marara shin marara shin marara shin barara indari andari 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 anduku dari andari 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 asuku dari andari 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 asuku calling it up, calling it up, calling it up. And also witnessing that we are. We are those rays. Using your consciousness to also simultaneously expand the ray around you, the white diamond crystalline. And then calling down the rainbow light. Rukushia nanamaya sake rukusi maria siktike amasia takayusia. Ariasiki mariasia 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 namaria rukusia 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 rukmarasin mariasin 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 mariasia. Marasin, 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 marasin. So calling it down, calling it down, calling it down. Also applying the awareness as a consciousness of coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down. Rusina Mariasikina Mariasikina Rukusina Mariasikina 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 Ruk sik tik sik tik ru sik tik 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 Korea. Applying the activated currents with the intention of upgrading the immune system. And upgrade simply means a different magnetic electric set of currents. Opening, matching, matching, matching. Torio, 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 torio. And calling forth, cracking open the molecular. Cracking open the molecular. And we crack open the molecular to allow in streams of plasmic light. Yin, 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 yin. Num, 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 num. You might feel some heat rising. Or you might feel cold. Just cracking open the molecular. And once again, just allowing allowing yourself to experience the fullness. We are going to now layer all of this. To final the calibrations, calling in amethyst, clear quartz from the astral etheric, calling these crystals in to create a spherical grid around each of the organs, matching the currents of the central nervous system, of the nerves, of the plasmic, of the immune system. Ishina, Sikina, Ishina kina marikukai, siki arik akukai, imakai, urkusikina mariakai, urkush, rakasikina mariatakake, to clear rukutakatake, creating a ashakai, a portal around the third eye, clearing and opening, 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 ruk tuk 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 ruk tuk tuku suk tuk 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 clearing, 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 opening up and clearing beliefs that are limiting the vision. Rukusi nariyasete, rukusite, rukusite, rukusiteke, rukusututututuku, sete, 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 kurkusina, sina, 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 sete, urka. Rukusina Mariate Urukushia ay satatatak ay satatatak ay rusitititititititititiku. Opening up the grids. Okay, final calibration. And calling up the shield of white diamond flame. Now, all of these rays are octaves. They're sounds, they're vibration. If you allow yourself to view it in some way of being that is objective, I guess, or subjective, it's subjective and objective simultaneously. Your ability to experience the color and the crystalline currents comes from your ability to open and co-create. If you're just sitting there dependent upon what I am saying, then you will always view it. It'll be an image, it will be an object. And matching that with the gold and platinum. Bringing it all in. Tuning into the system overlay. Okay. One thing that is being requested from this highest aspect of me, to finalize, is to unpack the libraries, unpack unpack these currents. We unpack, and open the libraries of frequency. It's like unzipping a file. Which libraries are available? Magenta, platinum, indigo, violet. If you feel any pressure in your head, this is opening up a lot. Just do some tapping. And you can actually tap your field. Opening it. And just feeling the reverberation of the opening. My body's beginning to turn into jello, so so we will begin to conclude this activation. Declaring, and you might feel some nausea. You might be feeling lightheaded at the unpacking. These are new pathways, new energetic pathways within your neural network. So sealing. And this is anchored always into the highest and greatest, into the highest line, which means how you experience this is wholly dependent on you. In your highest line, where you are consistently letting go of old cycles, Just a reference and a reminder here that anything you do the same way every day at the same time every day keeps you stuck in a cycle. If you wake up every morning at the same time and do the same thing every day, or you wake up at the same time, or you go and do something at the same time every day, that is a cycle and you remain stuck and in the system of time. Therefore, in order for you to begin to allow yourself to be free. Okay. An invitation, just do something different every single day. Wake up at a different time, go to bed at a different time. Stop living by a clock and stop living by the calendar. Your system knows everything in divine timing, which means everything in divine timing. You will arrive and all will arrive in divine timing if you are free. If you're not planning, and I understand that we make appointments and schedule to meet up. However, there's an opportunity to allow that to still be free. We will always meet in the energy that is aligned. If we choose to meet, we will always meet energetically. And it just might not be at the quote-unquote time that we declared, but it will be in divine time. And every moment can be divinely timed if you are the creator. We can now close this. Final transmission overlay from Sonak, my magenta violet ray, indigo ray. All is complete. All is complete. Just allowing that final wave to wash over and under, because it's going underneath the tailbone and up and around. So once again, just riding that wave. It's also hitting, of course, the third eye and opening up and around. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. I almost can't hold my arms up. Well. Shoo. That's amazing, Fatima. How is everyone feeling? One, I didn't mean, I was trying to close everything. Click on it. Still floating and riding these waves of energy, of frequency. Yes. 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 Feeling very, yeah. Yes, yes. Riding the waves, riding the waves. Mm. Hmm. Now, I would like to bring through. Yeah. Not really exactly. I feel you. Yeah. So we're kind of like Jello right now, which is I want to bring something, something into the awareness. There's a lot happening on a microcosmic level. And this is always my intention because anything I bring through, I'm also holding an anchor there, an awareness there. I'm always holding an activation there because everything begins in the micro and flows up and out. So even if it felt like we began in the macro, we were also simultaneously, of course, in the micro. There's a lot happening on a molecular, cellular, I can't talk. 1 second. Yep. Very warm. Your body heat it might shift. You might go from feeling very warm to very cold, to very warm to very cold in the hours to come, maybe even in the days to come. This is something that will be happening for at least the next 3 days. And we are going to set the intention to be wrapped in the waves of light. The Merkaba. We can call forth, setting the intention to call forth the activation that was received here in any moment. Calling forth the activated Merkaba. Yep. There it is. Okay. So this will be something that you can call forth and use at any time. You match the currents. Anytime you choose despair or judgment or anything other than neutrality and gratitude, I would like for you to understand that this is an enhancement of your existence. It's also a part of your path, and therefore anything that you choose will be directly reflected to you. Okay, it's there, it's going to be mirrored back. So you will also instantly manifest. Be very conscious and very aware of your thoughts. Be very conscious and very aware of your feelings. This does not mean that just because this has been activated that somehow you are free. You are free. But it doesn't negate the responsibility of being the master of your reality. Please keep in heart that old teachings do not frequently align to these currents. That is very important. These currents are the inheritance of all. Therefore, there is no longer a need to segment or fragment in such a way. I want to remind that our mystery schools, this has been very previous lately, and I've been coming up lately, so I'm assuming, not assuming, I'm feeling, I don't want to say, no, I feel, and I'm aware that there are those in the collective that are activating and harnessing, and that's why it's come into my awareness from that collective current in the psychic, in the psyche. And although I don't choose to be active and anchoring through those frequencies, there are those lines that are being held captive, which means it holds the planet captive in those applications. I would like to expand on this just for a second. The mystery schools were created, as I've stated, the temples were created to harness what we are harnessing now. Because there was no accessibility at the time for, shall we say, the currents of an ascending or higher elevated dimensionality, we had to harness it in ways where we would be upgraded. Specific people would be upgraded if that was their path, to go and dedicate themselves to the mysteries of self, which is also the mysteries of the cosmos and the mysteries of the universe, which is simply the unseen. And now that is open and available for everyone. This has been the ongoing transition since those civilizations closed out. So this means that those closed out for a reason. And therefore, if you would like to access the wisdom, you open yourself up as the conduit for the universe, and you receive. As a conduit for the cosmos, and you receive. As a conduit for the planetary Akash, which is a part of your choices. Anything that you've chosen, anything that you believe in, anything, all of that from all lives and any experience is available, as well as that of the planet. It's closing out. And because it's closing out, we are not meant to be holding those lines captive. So just letting you all know. No, don't be sorry, Miss Beautiful, Beautiful. I love you so much. And thank you, Anne, for joining. Truly, truly thank you for receiving. So grateful you could be here. And thank you for sharing in your light, and thank you for your co-creation. I bring this into the awareness simply because if one is leaning into that, then they're holding themselves captive in frequencies in a specific focal point. When in every moment, in every breath, you have access to the keys. The keys are here. The keys are yours. By being here at this moment, in this incarnation, everyone has access. Also, the natural laws, the planetary laws are closing out. Okay? We're shifting into a different dimension, which means everything from this dimension will be closing out and ascending as well. So in order for everything to close out and ascend, it will close out and ascend through those that are choosing to close out and ascend. There could be an aspect of the planet that is held captive, that is stuck in time. And those that you to step through, should you so choose. It is an invitation to step into the awareness that there is no teaching that is applicable to a planet that has yet to be experienced. The karmic laws are shifting. Yes, absolutely. Karmic cycles are shifting. We came in here to close out our karmic lesson groups, to close out our Akash. And therefore, how does that happen? It happens not just by knowing it. And this is the biggest thing. My goodness, this is the biggest thing that has been reviewed consistently with those that I am working with one-on-one or in my group space. Just because you know does not bring it into fruition. You must apply. It is the application. That is the aligned action. Let's say you know of these aspects of you that carry over. You see it in others. This was what came through. This is very powerful in my group yesterday, and I would like to share it. If you're hyper aware, exactly, embodiment time. If you're hyper aware of what others might be thinking of you, if you're hyper aware of what others are feeling, if you're hyper aware of what others perceive of you, and This means that if you're concerned with what's happening to others or with others, then your hyper awareness or your applied awareness is outside of you. If you take that and turn it inwards, if you are hyper aware or awakened in your awareness, then you are aware of every thought, every feeling, every experience, every choice, which is carried over in all lifetimes, in every experience of every reality parallel to you right now. Which means it begins to bring in the past and the future. Everything is here now. It is always here now. In order for these cycles to truly close, knowing it doesn't close them, but applying it, which means if you're still holding on to some belief in the application yesterday or in the transmission yesterday, my sister was very focused on, and it doesn't mean that other things didn't happen, but she was very focused on the word seraphim, seraphima, I believe, seraphim. And some other reference points to light that I was expressing. And her connection and her attention, her awareness was on that. Now, why? If there's a version of us, now it didn't mean other things happened. We had implants, imprints, all kinds of stuff that was happening on a DNA level that she experienced and she was aware of. But that was where the focal point went. This is why you guys hear me speak of letting go of what we hold captive or believe in regards to words of power, which are also the ascended masters. If we hold them in higher reference or reverence, or if we consistently go to those words or those images, those people, more than we do ourselves, we miss everything that's happening. We're aware we're there, but we have a version of us that is still holding back. That version of her that was not standing forward was that version of her that always feels like she doesn't understand or she's not good enough. And so, well, this one for yesterday was for my group space, my dear. It was for my soul pod. So today's is a reflection. But there was, of course, a little bit more because that's a paid space, but she had an opportunity to witness that aspect of her. And when I asked her to go inwards, there was a lot of emotions that came up. Why? Because the version of her that doesn't want to be illuminated, that's always unworthy, that's always judging itself, was the one that felt that if I could just connect to the words of power, seraphim, dragon, angels, then I can be here instead of here. And she was able to reclaim that version of her. It was very beautiful and very powerful. And she also gained access to the fullness of herself, because that's an identity marker. And that's an identity of self that will, just one, we have many, that will hold us captive. And so this is why you guys have heard me speak into letting go of guides in the way that I have, letting go of ascended masters in the way that I have. There's everything, and this is what was reflected back, is we got it. We realized why it was so important to do so. So thank you for allowing me to share in that reflection, because everything is a stepping stone into the next. We move through waves of mastery to be able to receive the fullness of such activations as this. Everything preceding was very intentional. It doesn't mean that those energies don't exist, but our perception of the energies can hold us captive. It can energetically hold us captive. And if we are not willing to view the fullness, this happened with another sister in the group yesterday. As she began expressing, there was a version that kept coming up of, I know. I'm receiving, but I know. And that version of her that knew everything was the version that was needing to prove everything. That was able to come home. It's the power of not only having these activations, but in such a space such as my group space, we have a deep internal reflection of the activation. So I am grateful that everyone is receiving this, and I leave this here for your review, that there is going to be stuff that comes to the surface. It's already here, actually. But if your applied awareness, and thank you, Miss Aurora, for receiving, if your applied awareness is too consumed with the hyperactivity outside of you, and it's, if you receive these words and you focus on just certain parts of the words, if you receive this and you cling to certain parts of it, I would invite you, anytime this happens, because this is what was happening in the space, so I know it's happening here. If you receive the words and you cling onto something and you need to prove it within yourself that you are or you are not, then allow yourself to stand in witness of yourself, of what you are comparing is or is not. Because the version of you that goes that it's either this or that, it's a split in identity. It's not this or that or this versus that, it's just what is. The words, if the words hold you captive, this is what she realized. If the words hold you captive before the feeling, then you are aware of what you are connecting to and how. It is an opportunity for you to find yourself through feeling first. Feeling first, and then allow the words to express from the feeling. If the words come first, then the mind is always at play. The heart isn't leading, but the mind is leading. So that's just an invitation. Absolutely. Neutrally observe. Exactly. When we neutrally observe, we're in a state of witness within ourselves where everything is incoming and we feel it. Every word that I express right now is a frequency. It's a tone. Multiple rays of light are coming and surrounding and engulfing. By the time it reaches you, how you respond and how you reflect is what you observe. It is a direct reflection of how you observe and what you believe and how you believe. It is a direct reflection of how you receive. We're not, especially if we're not used to going into the depths of the experience, then we stop at the surface. And this is an invitation to go into the depths, because everything that was activated here is directly connected to that neutral observation. It is directly connected to the mindful state of sovereignty. Because see, we lose a part of our sovereignty. Our sovereignty is actually split. And if we're not really visiting with it, which means it's very interesting. It's very interesting what I've witnessed and how people think that, what they think that means, what they believe that means, and what it actually is. There are so many nuances right now in every moment to what we're witnessing. And there's no right or wrong way. It's not about right or wrong or this versus that. It's this and that simultaneous. We choose to receive both and understand both through the experience of both. It doesn't mean we have to choose to partake in it in that singular way, but we can still experience it as if we did, if we are in a neutral observation of it. So I hope that this assists everyone. I hope that you are able to take this with you forward and experience the fullness of yourself. Everything is frequency. Everything is frequency. We have a tendency to know a lot, but not feel a lot. We think we feel because we feel emotions, but emotions are just one portion of it. True feeling is neutral. It's not an emotional state. True feeling is an expansion of all and a witness of all. It's not just the physical or emotional, it's the combination of mind, body, soul unified from a state of neutral experience, which you feel engulfed. Like right now and consistently, I'm just engulfed in electric magnetic currents. I know my body is here. I know I have an emotional body, but I don't feel swayed one way or the other. Oh, yes, that's amazing. And I just want to reflect, by the way, what we do in these gatherings, what you do in anything simultaneous to this. It is directly reflected in your environment. You're so very welcome, Miss Fatima. What this means is that because our sun, our planet, everything is directly linked to our frequency. This is what I mean by not being dependent on your environment. If you just look to the environment or the sun to give you, you're forgetting that what you are. You're forgetting that you're the creator, and they are conscious representations and reflections, and we are all here having this journey and ascending through our agreement and our contract. Just like our sun star, our earth star, they all have a contract of agreement for ascension, because the consciousness of the planet, those that are here not only agreed, not everyone, but there are those that did, and those that came to this planet specifically with an agreement and a mission to partake in that. Therefore, there is a collective journey that is underway, and everything will be directly reflected back. That's the power of viewing everything as a mirror of self. And we also are witnessing, I found it very, very interesting just to witness some things that happen in the 3D time as a reflection of what is taking place in these shifts in time and out of parallel. My parents very much watch the news, and during the first time that President Trump was almost assassinated, that happened during one of our gatherings where we were also working within the time mastery. We were also working within shifting time, being in the no time and shifting realities, and that happened. When we were gathered yesterday, at the time that our gathering concluded, there was another attempted assassination. So there are events that are happening concurrent to what we are choosing, which means it's bringing everything to witness for the collective of where people are choosing certain cycles of violence, attempting to eliminate hierarchy in a way that is directly connected to violence. These are tribal wars that are playing out, if you will. But the beautiful thing about where we are as a collective right now is that we're not going to undergo elimination, right? There's not going to be some destruction that, takes everyone from the planet. That's happened, by the way. That's why civilizations closed out in the way that they did prior, was because of the new electric magnetic overlays. This is what happened. This is why you will hear them in the 3D say, we don't know what happened. We don't know where the civilizations went. Was it war? What happened? Well, those civilizations held an agreement. They were playing, every single soul, just like you are right now, is playing a role, is serving, is here on a mission. They understood their role in connection with the closing out of time and a closing out of an era. They knew. They were in joy and celebration, because it meant we get to start in a new era. And so if you allow yourself to view what this really is, tribal warfare closing out, this is what is happening in the wars, closing out. And those of us that are choosing to ascend really, really assist in closing those out. It doesn't mean that everyone is going to choose to ascend. Obviously, it's a choice, it's a frequency. But it opens up the opportunity for more and more. And there are those that came here with the contract to not ascend. They're here fulfilling their karma. They're here fulfilling the wars. They're here fulfilling the cycles of that era. And that's a part of their agreement. Okay? So I would like for everyone to please simply allow yourself to understand that we all have an opportunity to stand as a guardian of this planet And the guardian of the grids is one that is upholding the awareness. There is no job to do. The grids are already created, okay? The grids of the electromagnetic overlays were created by those that hold that mastery. And therefore, those frequencies, those overlays are already here. They exist. And those that were here upholding that in the unseen have already left. We are the ones upholding the grids. Therefore, what you're feeling and what you felt today was a direct reflection of the ability to uphold currents that are directly reflected of these grids. Now, of course, our Merkaba is the inheritance of all of those grids. Okay? And you felt how powerful that was. And that was just a few layers. One that is able to uphold this consistently is one that is holding a hyper awareness internally, that is consistently applying the action of choice, which is upholding the currents of the grids. We don't have a job to do with the planet, okay? The planet is already undergoing its mission, its agreement to ascend. And we are directly connected to that. We are one and the same, okay? So those that are already choosing it and that are upholding it, we're just doing it together, okay? So we're not trying to heal or mend the old planet, okay? Those lines have already been reconstructed and the new has been integrated. Therefore, all that's here now is just for us to uphold the currents, uphold the frequency, uphold the vibration. We are the pillars. We are the temples. We are the space of activation. Therefore, we no longer go into a space of activation. We exist as. So everything, we're like right now, having those energetic assisting points in the astral and from the cosmic are there just simply giving us a point of reference and an anchor. The more that we inherit, the less that we need. That was the message. That was the intention when I've been speaking into everything in the way that I am, is that the more that you ascend into your mastery, the less that you need those energies. So we have a team of guides and those in the unseen that assist for those that aren't really aware and we're the ones that are, okay? We are. And so this really brings and hits home that have an opportunity to master, okay? Yes, exactly. And that's something that we do, like I've offered this before, but really more so in my group space where we travel. We go into and travel, and it's actually a going into no time, where we can actually, if we wanted to be somewhere, we don't have distance in 4D, we can be there right now. But we could also still take vehicles. So, or at least we can manipulate time, if you will, and we already have an opportunity to do this now. And we can also travel in consciousness through the grids in any moment. You don't actually necessarily have to be in a meditative state. If you consistently are activating yourself in higher states of consciousness, then you are doing that in every moment. You're doing that in every moment. And simultaneous to that, you're also aware of everything that is happening, let's say, on a more 3D karma scale, like feeling a certain way or choosing things a certain way, and you can really feel that all at once. So I thank you all for really being here and receiving. And I do feel that what I'm receiving as a reflection as I close this out is that our ability to do such things, like traveling consciousness through the grids and simultaneously mastering, of course, our reality, our micro, we are the grids. And because we are the grids, if we would like to access any portion of the grid space, all we need to do is go inward exist inward. We don't even have to go inward. We exist inward. And whatever and this is actually, this is what's coming through as a reflection of that, Christopher, and I'm very, very grateful you mentioned that, is that we can travel the grids for fun, and we can travel the grids and experience the grids. Simultaneously, we are the grids. Therefore, whatever we apply to us is applied, it ripples outwards. Yes, we are. Yeah, there you go. I had a feeling I'm like, I know he knows this. But it's something that I'm grateful you mentioned, so that can be reflected. And thank you, Miss Aurora. Thank you for receiving, beautiful. And therefore it's rippled outwards. So this is why we don't go, like, going to a physical location to work in a physical location, to apply grid work in a physical location actually isn't, that's a belief and a system that is a part of the systematic time or the systematic grids of the old. So there are those, this is what I mean when you get caught up in the psychic belief system and you inherit what others believe and you adopt it, then the awareness of the application of now bypasses. So, and I've played a role. I've been in those applications where, the physical, right? Doing something in the physical, going to a physical location for a physical portal, or there's a portal in a certain location of the planet. Now, this doesn't mean that there are not portals or gateways that exist all over the planet. They're directly linked into the grids now, which means before they were there because we had rifts in time. We had rifts in the energetic overlays of the planet, and therefore wherever energy was leaking in, as opposed to now where we have access to it fully, more fully anyways, not fully yet, but more fully, we would need specific locations to access it. Okay, now, because everything is opening up and we are the grids, those physical locations are no longer necessary. And I know many will still partake in it just simply because that's what others are doing, or then maybe they still hold a belief of it. But this is just an invitation to realize that that's an old system. That's a system that is no longer applicable. And it would, if you feel into it, if we are the ones that are here for mastery and inheriting the earth, why would we need to go to specific locations of activation if we are the ones mastering and inheriting? Because we are, right? We are all of it, and we can access all of it by accessing and activating internally. So concentrated intention and concentrated awareness of what exists. If you have an awareness of what is, then you can access all that is right now, and you will not focus singularly or linear on a belief or a systematic approach, which is, again, staying trapped in time. It's an old cycle. It's an old approach to time where we still had those unseen aspects and portals. So that's very much the system, the spiritual system, if you will, of the world that is closing out. So just bringing that into the awareness for everyone, that system is closing, and therefore it only closes if you no longer choose. And if you choose to be there, then therefore you remain in that cycle and you remain in that system, which means you never are really ascending. So, this goes in hand with anyone can claim ascension, anyone can believe ascension because they know that it's happening or they've had experiences. But to truly be ascending, you're ascending in awareness, and you're ascending in your applied electromagnetic polarities, which are microcosmic in nature, and therefore you are aware of everything that's happening on a planetary, cosmic, universal scale. You're not singularly focused or linearly focused on aspects. And yeah, usually when we see ourselves in a location like that, it's also a reference point to an existence, or it's a parallel overlay. And in terms of grids, what we're speaking about here is energetic in nature. It's not physical in nature. So it's electric and magnetic in its existence. And a lot of times when those aspects show up, it's because we hold some connection there, whether it's a belief, religious. Usually it's religious, especially in connection with Jerusalem, some sort of religious beliefs or upbringings or conditions of religion, and therefore the connection that holds to Jerusalem or that physical location, very similar to other locations around the planet that have held those imprints. And so whether it's either past life, parallel, or a belief system that was imprinted or agreed upon in some way, then we will find ourselves connected there in some way energetically. So that's something to be aware of. So I would like to finalize and wrap this with an intention. Our awareness and understanding has an opportunity to deepen if we allow ourselves to free into the unseen, into the unknown. Everything that I express, if I were to read some of the things that I have channeled, I would assume that I probably have a PhD or something in physics or whatever it's called. Quantum physics or something of that nature, but I don't. I simply have access to an embodied channel which has access to all that exists without limitations, without teaching, without applied system. And therefore the words and the words come, the words reflect, the words are mirrored from the state of consciousness and the flow. Therefore the understanding is infinite. There is no cap on understanding because there's no cap on feeling. And therefore, the power of what is able to be offered, expressed, and understood through me has no limitations. I reflect this intention to place here for all, if you so choose it in every moment, that you have a deeper understanding of self that's always available from a state of conscious awareness and applied awareness. Now your soul knows what that means. Your mind, if your mind tries to dissect it and understand it, it will cling to certain words. It will cling to certain understandings. The true understanding is the experience. You can only understand something because you feel it. You experience it. The mind knows a lot. So please understand that this new earth, if you will, is one that has never been created. It's never been written. It is not in our Akash. We do not have access to what is in terms of what is being created. We have access to what is. But again, there is no application of any teaching that exists that can be leaned on to understand it. You are the access, okay? And your ability to rely on, if you will, or lean into the unknown and the unseen is your gateway. It is your ticket. It is your key code. It is all. It unlocks the DNA. The DNA is able to not only absorb everything here now, because you're going to take everything with you and your DNA from this planet that you receive, that you've mastered, that you've experienced. It's all there encoded. When an Akash close out, our DNA holds it, and as we ascend, as we move on, if we choose to move on, then we will take the records of this planet. The only way that we can have records of another planet is if we have actually been there and mastered and ascended. Those are the, I know many speak of having records and accessing records, and I know many do. But please understand that that is a very, very, very specific DNA active access point. We believe and know a lot of things. This does not mean that we are accessing the libraries of that planet. Please keep this in heart. One of the things that has shifted in my own awareness recently is we have planets, of course, in our system. And I had held this belief that like Venus had ascended and other planets had ascended out. And now that I revisit with that and I'm fully open, I hear that it hasn't. This system, this cosmos, all were a part of the same dimensionality. So, are there other are there other ascended realms in connection? Are there other ascended realms in connection with this realm? Do we have an ascended fifth and sixth of applicable to this planet and the system? What planets, if so? What planets are ascending, if so? All realities are converging. So, for instance, I was aware of a reality where Mars had destroyed itself. This is something I'm going to sit with. And I know this just came up, and I know we've been here for a minute, so I'm going to close this out. But I was interested to visit with that because we've spoken about having access to the libraries of Venus and other planets. However, planets only ascend with their star. And so our star is just now ascending. And this system was created, especially the Earth, as an experiment. Which means everything that is happening here is reflecting throughout the cosmos and the universe. And there are many watching and many celebrating, for this is something that is having a grand effect on a universal scale. So, I am feeling that Venus was a gateway. I'm going to visit with that. There's something there that's different. And I'm going to visit with that, but I don't want to go into that right now. But I know, yeah, Keystone Earth affects the multiverse. Exactly. I feel like we had experiments on other planets that were then relocated to here. Yes. So everything was about this. Okay, so we will close this out. Thank you for hanging in there with me while I visited that. I do feel like there are, of course, alternate realities. In connection with that. But it's almost like I can't access it because it's being closed out, which is very interesting. So I feel like it feels like everything is funneling in here, and that's what I heard, that everything, all realities are closing out, that it was experimental and its applied availability to funnel into here. So let us close this out. Rukushinda kasika ushiata kesinda ori asitiki sikurkatiki ruktukoriasiki rukutiki siataki rukutukoriasinda rushi siki 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 rushiki sik tik 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 rua. Thank you all for gathering. Thank you all for receiving. We close out this moment. This moment is not captive in time. Even setting the intention that the replay for all is not trapped in time, because the moment is closed. Once it is received, it is closed. Once it is received, it is closed. All has been received. Reshinda sa eku asa kieru isititititi aku asititititi aku atatai ishata isu inda shikina amat aru shikina mara aru rukushi asata inda makush isinda makush shu shu shu. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to you receiving it from the beginning. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for awareness. Thank you for hanging in for this today, for it was a bit longer. I thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you again in the next gathering. Until then, Adonai.